Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name's Leslie Cruz. I'm an agent with EXP, and I'm so happy today I have Edwin. He is a broker out of LA. He has Lotus Broker. He has over 3,000 followers on Instagram. He manages over two brokerages down in the LA area. He's also a past president for NAREP. And last week he had an amazing little consistent overview of all the government aid programs that we have right now at our disposal. And so without further ado, Edwin.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. You reaching out shows the proactiveness and how you want to help out your community and your clientele. So it speaks volumes of you. So thank you once again. And it's an honor to be on your Zoom here. Appreciate it.
Awesome. No, it's honestly, we need to get this info out. I know lots of our clients, could potentially be entry level or purchasers, and they're waiting for some sort of government aid. And so, everyone's talking about the stimulus check. What's the news with that?
Well, the news is this. I recently read, because it changes every day. We're going through some unprecedented times right now, and from what I last heard, the checks are coming out as early as next week. And the first ones that will be getting this check will be the ones who are registered through direct deposit. So the ones who are already direct deposit, you should see something in your account by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, things can change.
Right.
I'm just only relaying the information that the government has come out with. And then obviously at that point, the ones who don't have direct deposit will get the mail, will get the checks mailed maybe a week or two after. So that's where we're at with that. And people wonder, well, what's the amount I'm going to get? And so
everyone wants to know how much and what the limits are, and
definitely. And so it varies, right? So it varies as far as where you're looking at, and did you file jointly? Did you file single? Did you file how to head a household?
Yeah.
All of that depends. So just to begin with, individuals that made an income of $75,000 and up to $150,000 for married couples, and for joint returns, will receive the full payment. And that full payment is what? Well, if you're single, then it's $1,200, $1,200. If it's married, filing jointly, it's $2,400. Then you got a bonus. You want to call it a bonus for each child. As long as the child's under the age of 17, then you will get a check for $500. So if you're a married couple that made less than $150,000 and have a child under 17, you will get a full amount of $2,900. Right? You got your $2,400 check. Then you got a bonus of $500, so you got $2,900 in total. Obviously, if it's two kids or two dependents, then it's another $500. So now you're going to get $3,400. So that's an example. Now it starts to phase out after. If you filed separately or individual and you're making a little bit over $75,000, then it starts to phase out by $5 for each $100 over $75,000, and that's going to be the same thing for people who file jointly.
Right.
After I believe after
198.
Yeah, 98,000. So 198,000, right?
Yeah, I think I took a note here, and it's single is anywhere from 75K to 99K, right? And then jointly anywhere from 150,000 to 198,000, which probably encompasses a lot of our clientele and just folks out there. So it's a good stimulus.
It is, and I know it gets confusing and all that, and that's why we're having these sessions, so we can clear this up, because we can get lost in translation as far as where do I fit in? Am I going to get something or not? Well, we do know for sure that if you make over 99,000 and you filed individually, you will not get any you will not get a check.
Right.
And that same thing goes for joint filers, married over 198,000. You will not get a stimulus check. So that is for sure a deal there.
Okay. And so, I mean, the other aid that's available out there for independent contractors for the first time ever is
Right.
unemployment, which I was like, I can't get unemployment, but then I guess we can. It might not be anytime soon, but I mean, tell me a little bit about that.
It's in the works. I know the government's right now obviously taking the employees who are out of jobs now as priority, and they did add in the stuff, independent contractors, self-employed, people as far as qualifying for unemployment, but they're saying that they're gonna, address them or address that group at a later date. The last time I heard was April 10th. Again, that probably got pushed for another week or so. But what I would suggest is to continue to look up on EDD, on unemployment, and find out exactly what the new date is. So keeping tabs on that. That does not mean that you should, but if you feel like you need to and you got affected by this whole COVID situation, then definitely something you should look into.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, is it $600 and then?
Yes. So for unemployment, if you do qualify for that benefit, it would be $600 per week, up to 39 weeks, and that should cover you all the way up to December 31st, 2020. So
Okay.
that's how much you qualify for in regards to that.
Okay, that's good stuff to know. Yeah, because I mean, people are scared not being able to pay maybe their mortgage or things like that. And then they're also hearing about being able to do this forbearance or a mortgage delay type of thing. And there's a lot of confusion out there. So let's talk about that.
Well, there's a lot of confusion, like you said, right now. Another part of the stimulus bill package, part of the package was the forbearance. And a lot of people think that forbearance means forgiveness, and that is absolutely incorrect. Forbearance basically means that we're just going to delay the collection of the payment. So right now, initially, what the banks are doing through the CARES Act, if you apply for that forbearance, the first 2 months are automatic. All right, the bank will automatically forbear those particular payments, and then after that, after each month, you would have to apply once again each month. So after the second month, you will now have to apply manually and say, hey, I still need this forbearance. Give me one more month. So in total for 6 months. So the first 2 months, automatic. You don't have to pay for 2 months. You're good. Looking to the third month, you have to call your servicer once again and say, hey, I still need this help. Give me one more month. And then you do that so and so up to 6 months. After your 6 months are over, that's where they will want to collect that balloon payment that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
scary.
And that could
Yeah,
be because now you could find yourself in a worse situation than you were before.
Yeah.
Right? And if the service is asking you to pay, let's say your mortgage payment is $2,000 a month, and after 6 months, they want those $12,000 plus the next month mortgage, which is now $2,000, which now is a total of $14,000. Will you have that money?
Yeah.
Will the unemployment benefit that you've been getting for 30, for those weeks, which is $600 per week, which is $2,400, is that enough? Most likely not. And so another thing that we have to understand is that do not think that that's what they're gonna ask you to do. There's that saying, "Ask and you shall receive."
Yeah.
Talk to the servicer. Not every servicer will ask of you to make this balloon payment. It is possible, but you have to ask them to work with you. So what happens there is that they may grant you another extension, right, for those 6 months to pay for that outstanding amount.
Mm-hmm.
What this does as well is it waives off any penalty or any extra interest. It still collects the interest on your regular mortgage payment,
Mm-hmm.
but it will not add extra interest because you haven't been paying for the 6 months. It just waives those interest and penalties that you usually have if you were to make that mortgage payment. And then, so that's one option. The other option is obviously, it's something that you can do as well, is the deferment. Deferment is now postponing that payment at a later date. Near future, it could be next year, it could be 2 years, it could be even after the end of the loan. And they just push it back to the end of the 30-year term. I guess the whole gist of all of this, or the whole purpose of this right now, is really to reach out to your servicer.
Yeah.
That's important. Do not assume that your servicer will forgive your payments. Do not assume that they will now get that balloon payment, that will require that balloon payment. Communicate, reach out. If you reach out, you'll definitely get the full blown information as far as what that service can do for you. Now, every servicer is the same. We do know that all the government-backed loans are covered by this. So if it's FHA, VA, USDA, or any other government backed loans, you are covered. So a lot of people asking, well, what if I have a conventional loan? I have a conventional loan. Like, that's not government backed. What do I do there? Again, talk to your
Call your
service.
lender. Yeah.
They may have individual private plans for you, and you may not even know it, because they want to help as well. They understand where they're at. So reach out. Don't give up just because your loan is not government backed. I would definitely reach out and see what your options are in regards to that. So that's what you can do for in regards to that. And then landlord, same situation. Where you may have a private loan, reach out to your servicer.
Yeah, no, it's all really good, important things that we're covering here, because I think that, we can't just not take action, right? We have to actually pick up the phone and call the lender and ask these questions, or ask someone. I have some clients that don't speak English very well. And so I'm asking for those phone numbers, and I'm calling them for them, and kind of walking them through that step of like, okay, these are your options. What do you want to do? You know?
And these are the times where us as professional agents, shine, because during these times is when we become resourceful for our clients.
Yeah.
That's key. We become their own trusted advisor as far as what they need to do.
It's not a transaction. It's for life. Yeah. Their family.
Exactly. Relational situation there. So,
Well, and then the last thing we're going to talk about, which, is going to be a last resort, really, is going to be your 401k. Now we're able to take, we've always been able to take money out of our 401k, but right now there's a little, I guess, there's a waiver, right, of some fees.
Right. So the waiver is basically now, before, if you want to take money out of your 401k, you're going to be slapped with a 10% penalty on the amount that you take out. But now during these times, they've now waived that penalty, which is 10%, up to $100,000. So if you need some money, if you're hurting, if you need money, then that's another place where you can grab funds to help with the situation you're at and that you're dealing with at hand. This does not mean you can go out and automatically go get the money. Don't sabotage your own nest egg just because you need it. It's only obviously as last resort. It shouldn't be something like I got money now that I can take out like an ATM. It's not something that's what it's intended for. Yeah. And from what I hear, if you do a loan against your 401k, which is another option that people have been doing as you work there, they extended that loan payback for another year. So instead of 1 year payback, you now have 2 years to pay that loan back for your 401k. So those are two options. And then California, you may want to ask, well, what about California? Are they going to waive the penalty? Because they declared a state of emergency, that falls under the umbrella or the rule where you can now trigger the clause where it says that more of a hardship distribution. So talk to your CPA, talk to your tax preparer. They'll be able to help you out with that. And I'm sure next year when you do your taxes, let them know, hey, remember about the coronavirus? And we're all hoping that April of next year, we're thinking this more of a history thing, like remember about coronavirus versus still happening back then, right? So if you're going to take money out, you're going to take money out, just make sure you bring that up to your CPA or tax preparer.
Exactly. No, that's a good disclosure, small text. Like, we are not CPAs or accountants. We are real estate professionals. But this is the info that's out there. And so anyway, that wraps us up.
One thing I want to talk about, we missed out on that one, which is the tenants and the moratorium they have. California, put in, Governor Newsom said that tenants, if they're not allowed to, if they can't make the rent, then don't worry, because there's 120 days of an eviction moratorium. That means the landlord cannot evict them because they cannot pay the rent. So look out for that. That's if you're a tenant, understand your rights. Again, if you can make the rent, because after the 120 days, and if you don't make the rent, guess who will be at your door on the 121st day? And that will be the landlord with a notice that's saying, hey, I need you to pay the 3 months worth of rent. And you're going to be in the same situation the borrowers can be with their forbearance plan that they've been dealing with. So understand the repercussions if you do not pay the rent. If you can, do it. Don't take advantage of it. It's only there for the people that really need it. And then on the same token, on the other side of the same token, landlords, obviously, if you're not getting the rental income like you were getting before, and obviously, and you have a mortgage that you still have to pay, reach out to your servicer and see what options they have, because the majority of landlords might have a government-backed loan, they have a private loan, so reach out, call them. But if you have reserves, go there first, and then reach out. So there's always help. We're all understanding of what's happening. We're all humans behind all of this, so we understand how we need to take care of each other and the economy, and how we can forgive, forbear, defer, and understand. So that's my take on that.
I love it. I love that last sentence. Well, thank you so much, Edwin, for your time. I super appreciate it. And I'll put your info at the bottom of the movie. And so if anyone wants to reach out to the Lotus broker, reach out. Sure. Thank you, my man.
Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate it. Let's do it again.
All right. Bye.